It's week 32 of the Premier League predictions in what could be the most defining weekend of the season. Now, we're just going to get straight into the predictions for week 32 of this season's Premier League, because there is still a match going on this evening, about to kick off between
most important game
Burnley
of the season yet, really.
For Burnley and Everton.
Okay, so first up we have the 8 o'clock on Friday between Newcastle and Wolves. Now 5-1 is losing 5-1 to Spurs is just embarrassing. Nothing more said. We'll mention about our result over the weekend. Absolute disgrace. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, Wolves continuing to grind out results, trying to push into the Europa League or Conference League places. But yeah, I think they're pretty much in 8th for this season, aren't they? Both teams on the beach. To be honest, I'm going to say 1-1 in this one.
Well, I wouldn't actually say that Wolves are on the beach presently. Yeah. They are in 8th position. There is a possibility of them getting into Europe. Newcastle now suffering 3 defeats on the bounce, but they are at home in this one, and those 3 defeats came away from home. I believe Raul Jimenez is actually suspended for this match, so they're not going to have, all their firepower. Front, Wolves defensively quite sound, aren't they? So at home, the Tsunami is going to be right behind Newcastle in this one, but I fancy Wolves to grind out a 1-0 away victory in this match. Next up, we got the first of the Saturday fixtures, and this takes place at 12:30 on Saturday between Everton and Manchester United. Everton, if they lose this evening, they are in the mire, especially with,
which is going to happen. Let's be fair.
Well, we'll see what happens. Coming up against a Manchester United side who haven't looked at their best recently, currently in 7th position, 1 win in their last 4. But this Everton side, okay, I know that they won recently a good home win against Newcastle, but they've been woeful all season, you could say. And I fancy United, or Manchester United, I should say, just to nick this one 2-1, and what a goal it was by Fred last time out.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Man United is just going to absolutely overload Everton, because defensively Everton are absolutely abysmal. Michael Keane, how is he even a footballer? By far the worst centre-back in the Premier League at the moment. Time? Yes, he did. Stupidly as well. Man United are going to win 3-0 straight up.
Wow, you're actually tipping Man United to have a clean sheet and a big victory then.
And it's Everton, come on. Next up anyway, we've got the 3 o'clocks between Arsenal and Brighton. Now Brighton, terrible. However, they finally did get a point last time around against Norwich, but that's Norwich, and if you can't even beat Norwich, then you don't even deserve to be in 13th in my eyes. They're coming up against an Arsenal side who are doing very well. Yes, they did lose last time around to Crystal Palace, which was quite a shocker. Fair play to Palace, because they were absolutely superb. Yeah, Arsenal, they're going to win this one, and I think they're going to absolutely destroy Brighton 2-0.
Yeah, I agree, Nathan. I'm actually going to go for a 2-0 victory to the Gunners in this one. However, we could see Brighton sort of park the bus, and I think the likes of Partey are injured for this one, possibly. And they've got Tierney out and a couple of other defenders out. Shocking defending against Crystal Palace, who sent lots of crosses into the box, and they just couldn't handle that QPR, their pace, and throwing those balls into the box as well. But I think Arsenal should have a little bit too much for Brighton, as they're in woeful form themselves. So I'm going to go, as we said, a 2-0 victory to the Gunners. Next up, we've got Southampton coming up against Chelsea. Now Chelsea, last time in the league, absolute shocking home defeat against Brentford, who took them to the cleaners 4-1.
Yeah, didn't respect Brentford at all in that one.
Chelsea playing in Champions League action this evening, and Southampton currently in 12th position, haven't won in their last 4 matches, gaining a draw last time out against Leeds 1-1. I expect Chelsea to bounce back in this match. I can see them shutting up shop themselves. Not too many goals in this one, and I think they're getting quite a few of their defenders back as well, who've been out injured recently. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 away victory to Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-0 as well. I think they'll just about grind it up. Southampton, very inconsistent side. They are starting to turn things around, but then drawing against Leeds isn't really showing anything, to be honest. So 1-0 Chelsea. Next up, we have got Watford going up against Leeds. Speaking about Leeds, of course, actually grinding out results under Jesse Marsch. Draw against Southampton, which is hard. I guess you maybe should be winning that, considering who they've been playing recently. But yeah, they're coming up against a Watford side who could very well stay up at this rate, considering the woeful form of Everton. And Watford are going to really need to pile on some points.
So they've got to win this one.
Yeah, 100% must win. If not, they could be down, and Burnley could stay up at this rate. Who knows? So I'm going to go for 2-1 to Leeds.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually going to go exactly the same as you on this week. Last 3 game weeks for Leeds has been very good. 2 victories and a draw. Watford, they're going to have to pull out all the stops in this one. They are at home. There's potential there for a victory in this match. A massive game for Watford. Biggest game so far, you could say, this season. But all these games are huge now. I fancy them to score, but I think Leeds are going to come away with a 2-1 victory. Next up, we've got Aston Villa versus Spurs. I think this is the evening kickoff, tea time kickoff on Saturday. Spurs piling in the goals recently, up to 4th position, Champions League spot now, 5 wins in their last 6, smashing 5 past Newcastle last time out. Prior to that was a 3-1 home victory against West Ham. Aston Villa, mid-table, maybe mediocrity, you could say, sort of filtering out their season, isn't it? 3 losses on the bounce. Defeat against Wolves in that Midland derby. Yeah, should have done a little bit better in that one. But I think Spurs will take all 3 points in this one. We've said recently that Son and Kane are getting back into scoring ways. So I fancy Spurs to win this one 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Spurs in this one, I think. Yeah, they're straight at the races with scoring, really. Getting in loads, but Villa really starting to stumble, especially with teams around them at the moment and above. So, yeah, Villa are going to struggle. Can't see them getting anything, so 2-0 to Spurs. Moving on to Sunday, first of all, we've got the 2 o'clocks between Brentford and West Ham. Now, West Ham coming back from the international break, doing very well, destroying Everton 2-1. However, we did think that there could have been an upset there with Everton, but yeah, very good win that for West Ham. And coming up against Brentford's side, of course, 4-1 to Chelsea. How good of a result that is, considering Brentford's recent form. But tough one to predict. I'm going to go for another narrow 2-1 West Ham win, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, on any normal day I would go for West Ham, but they are in European action on Thursday evening. Brentford have a fantastic a fantastic victory against Chelsea last time out, so their tails are going to be up. They're going to be full of confidence. West Ham, Antonio, they're pretty much their only striker up front. Can he play Thursday, Sunday? Possibly, not too sure. Jared Bowen just getting over his injury as well. A lot riding on his shoulders. They got they've done brilliant this season, but I fancy Brentford to get something out of this one, and I'm going to go for Desmond's in this one, going for 2-2.
Interesting. Everton have just scored a penalty as well.
So 1-1.
Yes.
Wow. So next up we got Leicester coming up against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace dismantling Arsenal with what looked like ease on Monday evening, and Leicester mid-table themselves in 10th position, but only 2 defeats in their last 6. I think indeed he's still out, isn't he? A draw against Manchester United last time out. This one could go either way. Brendan Rodgers is going to want to win this one. However, I do think Patrick Vieira has done phenomenally this season, beyond everyone's expectations, I think. And I fancy Crystal Palace with the amount of pace that they've got in their side. Gallagher's playing absolutely superb as well, so I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 victory to Palace.
Yeah, I think Patrick Vieira has 100% cracked it. And who said at the start of the season they were going to be in the top half? Most people said they were going to get relegated, in fact, including myself. But yeah, tough one against Leicester, 9th versus 10th. They're both looking for wins in this one. It's so difficult. I'm going to say 1-1 just. However, I do think Palace will slightly be the better team in this one. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have an absolutely massive game between Norwich and Burnley, especially for Burnley this is as well. Norwich, well, they're pretty much out of it at this point, but yeah, I think if Burnley win tonight, which looks like they are going to, then I think that momentum is going to carry. Well, it is 1-1 at the moment, but from what I'm seeing, they are looking like the better team. But if they can grind find that momentum through. I think they can beat Norwich 2-0 and quite comfortably as well. It could even be more.
2-0. I'm not sure if it'll be that comfortable. Norwich now, in their last 6 matches, just drawing one, which was their last match away against Brighton. Burnley, 3 wins all season. It's just not good enough. That is relegation candidates written all over them. However, Sean Dyche, end of season, this is where he comes to the fore. He is an expert in this, isn't he? So it's going to be low scoring. It finished 0-0 earlier in the season, but I fancy Burnley to nick this one just 1-0 in a away victory at Carrow Road. And the final fixture of this game week, the biggest, hugest, the biggest game of the weekend and possibly of the Premier League season thus far, is Manchester City at home to Liverpool. Liverpool, 10 wins on the bounce in the league. Amazing. Absolutely superb away against Benfica. But I said in my Champions League predictions video that Benfica would score against Liverpool, and I was proved right in that. Whether Manchester City can score against Liverpool, I'm not too sure. Could there be goals, or could it be one of those matches where it's all build up, the hype and everything, and it just plays out a draw? I think it will be the latter. I think neither of these teams will want to lose. It could be that they cancel each other out and draw, and hopefully one or the other will stumble in the final furlong of the season. So I'm actually going to go for a 0-0 draw in this one. I think both defences are going to be on top in this one.
Yeah, interesting. There's going to be goals from either side, I think. It's just Liverpool with a better form.
Yeah, if I was going to go for a victory, it would be Liverpool, but I think it'll be 0.
I think Liverpool will be the better team, however, but I'm going to go for the result it was at the start of the season, Desmond again.
Wow. So that concludes our predictions for week 32 of this Premier League season. As always, make sure you leave your predictions over at the Super Brew website. There's the code if you're not already a member. It's free to join, and there is the website as well. I'm going to put up on the screen now the current leader of the overall predictions table and the top scorers, or the top 10 scorers for week 31. So then, Nathan, what's happening this weekend? Are we going to do an away day?
Yes, sadly at the moment.
I'm looking forward to it. Where are we going?
I don't know. Well, we're going to Reading away, a Stonewall on the channel. Probably about 5 or 6 times we've been, but will the players care this time? That is the question. Yes, of
course they will. I'm hoping for a bounce back in that one. You're going to be bringing a vlog out this weekend?
Yes, on that one we will. Yes.
Superb, because there's a lot of people looking for your Swansea vlog.
Yes, a lot of people are allergic to listening.
All right.
That's all I'll say.
Idiots. Fantastic. So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go? The final furlong of the Premier League season is here.
Final one.
This weekend, as we've already said, absolutely massive. Thanks for watching as usual. If you like this video, then hit a like, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe for some more superb predictions. We'll both see you very soon.